I was injured about 12 years ago in Kenora, Ontario, in a fall. And in that fall, I had injured my spinal cord, so at the T12 level, incomplete. And I was hospitalized in Winnipeg for 2 months and then transferred to Stan Cassidy. It really turned everything upside down because I was so active at work. I was in physical labor. I worked in the woods and I worked in retail at the time of my accident. So I was really the type of person who was always on the go and had to keep moving. And when that happened, I was lost. I had no idea what I was going to do. And with sports as well too, I was really active in any kind of sport you could think of. And in that department, I was lost as well too. I was like, well, how am I ever going to play hockey again, or basketball, or football, or So I was kind of lost and didn't really know. At that point, when I first got hurt, didn't really know where to go for any answers. When I was first hurt in Ontario, I was working for Zellers in Kenora, and I was flown to Winnipeg all by myself. I had a group of friends in Kenora; they came to visit, but my family came out to stay with me for most of the 2 months I was there. And the company Zellers I was with, were so amazing to my family to help them financially while they're out there, and myself. And the pouring in of cards from coast to coast, even from down the States. I got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of get well cards from people, strangers I don't even know. So having the country behind me and having my family, my friends behind me, there's no way to go but up. With that much support, I just said, yeah, absolutely, I got to go forward. There's no way I couldn't with all that support. Two, I had to find a way to stay active, stay fit. I was talking to a friend of mine when I first got injured, and he said, main thing is to keep active and keep going and lead a healthy life. And so I got into sports, wheelchair basketball, right away. And different other things too, like driving. I had to get our vehicles equipped with hand controls to operate the gas and the brake. That was pretty challenging at first. It was kind of odd. And then other day-to-day stuff would be like just taking care of your wheelchair. It's everyone's got to tie up their shoes to get going. We got to make sure we got air in our tires to get going. I went to Compu College for a year just to get back into the education system, and I'd planned to probably go to university after that. And I got a job placement with MB Power for 30 days, and I started off with accounts payable, doing the shredding the paper and pulling the staples, just whatever. And I just they kept me on, extended my work term, and I moved on up the ladder, and now I'm a full-time buyer. Like I said, I was always the type of person that when I was working, I'd always have to be on the go. But with this job, I was confined to a desk, to a computer for 8 hours a day, which I found really hard. Because my nature was to get up and just go and do manual labor or whatnot, talk to people whenever I wanted to. But with the disability, sitting there for long periods of time, you get really stiff. So I had to make some serious seating adjustments because before I was just into the wheelchair. I never ever transferred off into an office chair or anything. It's really, when you're faced with a challenging disability, it's life isn't over. It's time to rebuild, to get back to where you once were before. I mean, it's really important to get back into the workforce so you can create your life and build it, because it's not like myself. I wasn't just going to roll over and say, that's it. So, it's really important to get out there. Try to surround yourself with positive people. Get out into different organizations. You may feel uncomfortable at first, but eventually you'll start feeling better. It's just about getting out and being out there. Just trying to think of what people think of you, and because when I first got injured, I always thought people were looking at me because of the chair and this and that, but that was all just part of going through the phases of having an injury, such as being a spinal cord injury, paraplegic. So it's just something that it'll pass, and you just keep a positive attitude in any situation that you're in.